What's going on, everyone? Dom from the Game Looters here. Today we're looking at 5 tips that's gonna help anybody in Unicorn Overlord. As you know, Unicorn Overlord is a strategy game, so what better than 5 tips to help you strategize in Unicorn Overlord? I have marked these as beginner tips, but really this can just be a FYI or tips for anybody playing the game because, hey, there's a lot of stuff covered in this game, and we all just might need a gentle reminder, or we might just need to be told something that we might have skipped because there's just so many things and mechanics in this game. All right, without further ado, let's not waste any time. That takes me, my friends, to tip number uno. And this is going to be the easiest one that I will definitely recommend very early on in the game. So, as you guys see right now, we are in the game, and what we want to do is I want you guys to head over, and I want you to head over into the system menu. So go ahead and go to system, go to options, and when you're in options, also don't judge me. Yes, I am playing in normal mode. I am not some strategist, magnifique. But anyways, go ahead and go into options here, and then I want you guys to go all the way down, and there is one that says Overworld and Auto Run. It's gonna be clicked and toggled off, which means you have to hold the circle button every time you want to run, and that's awful. You want this just on all the time. I don't know why you would have it off, but go ahead and just toggle it on. Now when you toggle it on, now my Elaine, my version of it, not to spoil anything, mine is on a horse, so my main character's on a horse here. You can class up your characters down the line in the game. But essentially, what this will allow you to do is to run. So when you come across enemies over here that they see you, you're able to come and run away from them really quickly. And this is just something that's going to definitely, kind of like help you out and essentially allow you to run away from enemies very, very quickly. So make sure you go ahead and toggle the auto run feature on, and this will help you especially early game where you don't have to worry about pushing down the button, and it'll allow you to get away from enemies a lot faster. Alright, tip number 2 is all about customizing the characters you think that you couldn't customize. So if we head into our menu here and we go into character list, I want you to look at one of these specific areas. This is going to be your stat area, and if we look at Elaine, when you get Elaine, you're going to get 2 different growth types. The growth types is kind of the min-maxing on whether you want to focus on HP, physical attack, physical defense, magic attack, blah, 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 blah. Now, this is going to go for Elaine, the characters you're given up front, like Joseph, and this is also going to be for the different characters that you can recruit to your militia and to your army. So another example would be Melisandre or Sylvie. If we see here, Sylvie's growth type is Guardian and Precise. These are the default growth types that they're given. But did you know that you can change these to match what specifically type of character that you want? So I'm going to lead this into kind of a tip within a tip. That's going to lead us into the Black Market Guy. Now, Black Market Guy is going to appear at every part of the region that you are exploring. But the first, kind of the first version of the Black Market Guy you're going to get is in the walled city of Adoptee. In the walled city of Adoptee, you're going to be asked in this specific area over here. So let me take you over to this little corner. You're going to be asked by this person here to build a bridge and give them a bunch of wood. Once you do that, the Black Market Guy is going to open up, and you can talk to him. And remember, you can only talk to him at night. Well, I guess don't remember, a tip is you can only talk to the Black Market Guy at night. He's going to have a bunch of really cool wares and a lot of cool things that you can go and buy. But specifically, he's going to sell you one thing that is called the Idealist Hand Mirror. These things do cost quite a bit of gil, quite a bit of money. But the really awesome thing about the Idealist Hand Mirror, on top of all the other cool things that he's going to offer, like different items that you can only get through him, and these items are going to change through the different regions that you go through. But when you buy the Idealist Hand Mirror, here's what you can do with it, okay? So this is the really cool stuff. So go ahead and go into your item list, and let's go find the Idealist Hand Mirror. And when we find the Idealist Hand Mirror here, thought I had it, and then there it is. So there's the Idealist Hand Mirror. So go ahead and find it, and we're going to give it to Elaine, okay? Now when we give it to Elaine, we can completely customize this character. You can change the look of it. You can change everything about this character. So let's go ahead and let's mess around with it a little bit, and then I'm going to show you the coolest thing. Okay, so with this, you can change their color. So if I want Elaine not to be blue, although I do like the blue, if you want him to be, let's call it, let's say if we want to have him have a black stallion or a pink stallion, whatever we want here, we could change the color. Let's go with a light blue here. We can also change his hair color. If we want him to not have blue hair, we can change him to have black hair, any color that we want. I think I'm going to go ahead and rock white because I generally do like the white color. And then you could change the accents here. So if we want to have like, you know, a black and blue horse, copper, whatever color that we want here, we can come in and we can change it. We can make him look really cool, blue on blue, like just, you know, rock it all out. I kind of like the black look, like the Dark Knight. There's no second accent color here, and you can't change the voice, but that's okay. Now, we're going to talk about the growth time. This is where specifically I want to call out. So if we look at the right here, we see all the different statistics, and we can see that now we have all around her. We can go ahead and we can change this. So if, let's say, like for Elaine here, his S-type and A-types are, S-type is guard, A-types are initiative, HP. So if I want to go ahead and focus that, I can change him to a guardian where his guard rate goes up, and I can, you know, further enhance his S-type that he currently has. If I want to go and I want to focus, let's say, on HP, if I want to make him really hardy, you know, you could do that as well too. So maybe what I want to do for him is I want to go hardy, and then I want to focus on his S-type stats. So I want to do hardy and a guardian, just make him a beast of a tank. And once I'm happy with that, I'll go ahead and I will finish customizing this character. And now my Elaine is specific to my type of character that I want. You can go ahead and you can do this with other characters. So if I want to go ahead and customize Melisandre, I could do that as well too. You can make her whatever color you want. You can change the different bases, different hair colors. So you can customize your Melisandre, your Elaine, your specific type characters of any of them that you want with the Idealist hand mirror. So this is a really cool tool to not only min-max your growth types, but you can also customize the way that your specific leaders, confidants, that your specific characters that you want to customize on how they look. Hope this helps you out. This was a really cool find for me, and I hope it is for you too. All right, tip number 3 is all about not forgetting to station your specific confidants or your specific army militia in certain posts. When we look at our menu here, we can see a bunch of different colors on the screen. The blue means that we have a specific team member stationed there. The yellow mean that we do not. So if we go look at the yellow, if we go ahead and travel to this town here, if I look here, we can go ahead and station a guard here because I don't have a guard station. You want to make sure that you do this as much as you can remember. So we'll go ahead and we'll station, I will station one of my random ones here. I'll station Lex here. So now Lex is stationed here. Now the purpose of doing this is, again, looking at the map, everything that is marked blue, which includes the one that we just stationed somebody at, is where we have our militia or our team member stationed at. Now you want to do this because after you complete every quest, after you complete every main quest, you're going to get additional resources given to you by all the different guards that you have stationed there. An example is if you look at deliveries here, we can see that, okay, if I go in and I deliver all of these, we get specific things back. So I'll go ahead and deliver all of these materials, and you acquire additional money and you acquire additional honors. But what's cool about this is the items needed for these, they're automatically, or I would say automatically, but they are mostly given to you by the guards that you have stationed at each of these posts here. So you want to ensure that as you liberate each of these towns and places, that you're stationing somebody here as best as you can. Now, another thing for this is like, well, I don't have any team members left. Well, what you can do is you can head to one of your forts, and all your different forts are going to have hireable team members or hireable militia. And you can go in and hire knights, wizards. You know, this is just one that has gladiator, knight, and wizard. But you can hire whomever you want. And you can add them for the specific reason to go in and station them somewhere and have these guards be able to give you resources. So this is just a really, really cool way to ensure that you're kind of min-maxing your playthrough, and that way that you can go around here and make sure that you have somebody stationed everywhere. So as you complete each of these side quests and each of these main quests, that you're being given resources to continue doing that as you liberate the Empire, as you liberate the world, I guess you could say, from Zenorian grasp. Anyways, that's tip number 3. I hope this one helps out. I hope it makes sense. If you have questions, let me know in the comments. Okay, so now for tip number 4. Now that we've stationed somebody here, I want to go ahead and talk about the very important thing, at least to me, which is ensuring that we build better relationships. So if we open our menu here, we can look at our rapport. And specifically, you want to focus on Elaine here. Now, you can focus on everybody. Like, obviously, for me specific, I'm going to go ahead and put my boy, I'm going to go ahead and put my boy over here with Monica. And specifically, I am talking about my boy Clive. And I want to make sure that he has maxed out with Monica because they need to be together. But specifically, I want to focus on Elaine. We can go ahead and see the different relationships that I have and their levels right now and which ones are higher than others. Like, I'm about to max out Selvi here and have my last kind of like support conversations with Selvi. But at the end of the game, it's no secret that you can marry one of your support units. So you want to ensure that you are min-maxing your support and your engagement with each of your units. So how do you do that? Well, if you head to the towns, you can go and we can look at the town here. And actually, let's look at a better town because this one doesn't have the tavern. But we want to go ahead and find a town, like one of the larger ones that has a tavern. So when you go here and you visit, we can make sure that we visit the tavern. And the tavern's very specific. If we look at, like, let's say, like, I was saying, so I can go and have Elaine, and I want to focus on Selvi and Berengaria, and let's say Prim, I can go ahead and have a meal. And when I am done with the meal, I'm going to get additional rapport points with these characters. So we're going to go ahead and finish the meal. And I was able to get 60 rapport points for Selvi and 60 rapport points for Prim. So again, if you want to be able to have the ability to marry one of your specific units at the end of the game, which does include your cousin Virginia, I'm just throwing that out there, then you want to make sure that you come and you focus on building rapport points through the tavern. You want to make sure that you build rapport points through having them in your unit. So if you see right now in my unit, I have Ridiel, I have Rosalinda and Virginia. Hey, forbidden love, whatever it is, right? But before I had Melisandre in there, but I had, almost maxed her out, and I had Sylvie in there, and I'm almost maxed her out as well, too. So by having them in your specific unit along with Elaine, you're able to increase your rapport points with them. So this is just a really cool and easy way to ensure that, hey, by end game, if there's a specific character that you want to have love with, that they are an option for you by the end of the game. So make sure that you're doing this by building rapport in the tavern, building rapport by having them in your unit, and also one more is building rapport by going and giving them gifts. So let me try and see one of my stations here. So let me go into, I think it's the harbor town here. And yeah, okay, so let's just look at here. So here I have Oculus here, and I can also give them a gift. So Oculus, I know that she probably maybe likes flowers, so we'll give her a flower. And look at that, I got 120 rapport points between me and Oculus, and she said, hey, you've chosen such stunning flowers. So this is another way to build rapport too. So taverns in your party, having the rapport conversations when they pop up, and giving them gifts will ensure that the specific character that you want to marry at the end, you can. And ultimately, this is just a really cool way to see additional details and context between you and your support units. All right, and tip number 5, the last tip, is we're heading into combat for this one. We're talking all about how to min-max your units in combat, maybe after you have started combat too soon and you forgot to go in and modify all your team members. So an example is we're going to go ahead and hit deploy here. And when we deploy, we're going to go ahead and, like, this is an easy battle, so I want to have some of my lower units. So I'm going to pick Clive's unit here. But with this specific unit, let's say, like, I want to focus on leveling up. Maybe this is a better example. Let me pick Celeste's unit here. So let's say I want to focus on something different, or maybe I don't like the formation. Well, by hitting the triangle button or the Y button on your controller if you're playing on Switch, by going in here and hitting formation, I can go in and change the formation of how I have them set up. So I can say, oh, well, I actually want Ouch or Och to come at front. Or I do in fact want Celeste here. Or maybe I want both characters in front of the unit and I want them to all protect my wizard in behind. You can go in and change any of these. On top of that too, if I go ahead and hit Celeste here, where is she at? If I go ahead and find Celeste, I can go ahead and click her as well too, and I can see her details by, there it is, by clicking the triangle. And what's cool is I can see her loadout and skills and everything as well too, and I can go in and edit them. So let's say I was like, oh crap, I actually just got a brand new axe. I want to actually give her the Barbarian axe or the Hofras axe. You know, I can go and like give her the axe all of a sudden, like, oh, okay, now I changed that out. Now I'm ready to go into battle, and now I can go ahead and I can set her out as a formation. One more thing too is with this as well too, let's say we're going to go into battle. So let's go ahead and let's have her engage battle. In here, obviously, I'm about to crush this opponent. But another thing too is you can actually change their formation even when you're in this screen. So if you hit the organize button here, you can come in and you can actually change the position. So let's say earlier I was like, oh, I want her up front. Let's say, okay, I want my wizard up front for whatever reason. I want these two as support in the rear. Now when we come out, it's going to change the damage and the damage that I receive and the damage that I give. And you can always mess with this when you suddenly find yourself in battle. So I can be like, okay, I actually want him up front. So as you see that, you continually go in and you change the damage that you're dealing and the damage that you get. So again, you always want to make sure that you're min-maxing everything here. And boom, you can see, okay, now I'm only going to get 20 damage, blah, blah, blah. So you can come in and change these automatically. So use this at your advantage, especially when you're out of stamina or when you're just suddenly you find out that like, oh, I wasn't able to get my unit in the position I wanted to. Now you can easily change your formation to min-max the damage you're going to receive and the damage that you're going to give. One more thing that I'll throw in here too in the organize is if you look at your characters, again, I talked about their loadout and skills and stuff too, you can come in and change them. So let's say like, oh, I have a specific move, let's say on my wizard here, and I want to do, you know, I want to have their magic counter be number 1, and I want to have their fireball be number 2, or, you know, I want the magic pursuit to be number 3 here, and you can kind of prioritize and change how they're going to work. And you can be like, okay, well, I want their fireball to only be prioritized, but I want it to only be prioritized for infantry, or, you know, whatever the specifics are here. You can go in and you can change that. So at any point you can change this, and again, you're going to affect the outcome of the battle and just be able to min-max things a little bit better, even when you think that you weren't able to. All right, my friends, that has been 5 tips that's going to drastically help your experience in Unicorn Overlord. I know as I began finding these things out, things just started to really click into place for me. I really hope these 5 beginner and 5 helpful tips help out your adventure in Unicorn Overlord, as this is one of my favorite games of this year. For more Unicorn Overlord, check out our full review of the game popping up on screen now, and I'll see you on the next video. All right, troops, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.